Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
What's going on, everybody? Listen to the Baseball Goombas. Today is March 26th, 2019. This is our 26th podcast episode, 2 days away from opening day. Felt like a little jock jams to get us pumped going into opening day here.
Let's get ready to rumble towards opening day. Chris Goomba
John
here.
Goomba.
And we have a jam-packed episode for you tonight. Yes, opening day is just, believe it or not, 2 sleeps away. So,
about time.
With that being said, good night until Thursday. John, you take the floor. Adios. Not just kidding. But yeah, it is here. I don't care what anybody says. Last week's Japan series, just no.
Stupid.
It's just no. I don't know. I get it. The whole agreement,
It was nice.
the whole overseeing agreement, but Ichiro was damn cool. But
That was the only thing cool about it.
yeah, I mean, opening day, the real opening day is Thursday.
Yeah.
So enjoy it. Kicking off today's episode, it is our favorite because it is prediction season. And we are rolling with a couple of league breakout players, some arms thrown in there as well. We have, I have my National League sleeper team, American League team, and
Same.
John as well. And then we'll just wrap up with just a couple of points on what we look intriguing into the new season here. So without further ado, like I said, jump ball is in 2 days. So, jump ball in 2 days. Let's roll with the American League breakout players. A couple of stars will be born, perhaps. I got a few names I want to just say. I've been on them for a little bit here. Number 1 for me is going with the Minnesota Twins and outfielder Eddie Rosario. I think he's a nice player.
He's nice.
I think he's a nice player.
That's a great way to put it. He's nice.
He's a nice defender. I think he can build off what he did last year. Last year, 288, 24 homers, 77 RBIs. It's pretty nice.
That was good numbers.
He has some speed as well on the base path, so he can swipe some bags. And he's just a contact guy. And I think he can build off what he did last year, and he can help out that Minnesota thump in that lineup because they added a whole heck of a lot of power in the offseason. We'll get to that a little later. Hint, hint. But he's number 1 on my list, and I did. We had our fantasy baseball draft last night, and I did draft him. So I am all aboard Eddie Rosario. He is my starting outfielder. So Eddie,
one of them, yeah.
Eddie, you were on the clock, and I'm looking.
Eddie.
Eddie, hey Eddie. I'm looking forward to big things from Mr. Rosario in the Minnesota Twin outfielder. Go ahead, John. Who if you wanna?
So my big breakout guy was Gleyber Torres, and I know he was 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting last year, but what we saw from Gleyber wasn't what everybody expected from Gleyber.
And he had a good year too.
He had a decent year, and when I went back and looked at Gleyber's numbers, it was very underwhelming of what everybody was expecting. He had 271, 24 home runs, 77 ribs, and he only had 117 hits in 123 games. I think people were looking him to put up more Andujar numbers. When I look at it, the 24 home runs and 77 RBIs, I feel like aren't going to move. But I feel like he definitely has that 180 hit capability. Andujar at 297, I feel like he can definitely get to that level. And what people don't realize, everybody got on Andujar last year for his glove and his errors.
Yeah.
Andujar at 15, Gleyber Torres at 17.
Yeah. It goes a little bit overlooked there.
Gleyber Torres, I feel like, is just going to... The Yankees are scaring me this year. I know...
I mean, hey, listen,
I'm not talking about rotation. I'm just talking
pitching
about...
that worries me.
Yeah, but I'm talking about their offense with Gleyber coming back. I think he's going to break out. Judge, I think, is going to be ridiculous. Stanton,
I think he'll have a better year this year.
has his feet wet in New York.
See, that's the same thing that goes along with Torres. I think he's this year 2, he's going to be more acclimated to major league pitching, and I just think he's going to get his feet. He already got his feet wet, and now he's ready to explode in year 2. And the same goes with Stanton.
Don't be surprised if his average goes up 30 points. He's hitting 300.
Gleyber can hit 300.
25 home runs, 80 RBIs, and he's got 180 to 200. He has that potential. I'm going to say 200 hits. That's a big milestone right there. Maybe 180 to 190. But I think he could definitely do it. And I think he's definitely going to get the fielding under control, because I know naturally he was a shortstop. He was asked to do a little bit more last year, so maybe he's got his feet wet at second. So we'll see how he does in the field. But I think everything's really going to get better in his second year.
And don't forget that the Yankees kick off with the mighty Baltimore Orioles.
Well, they struggle with. Don't be surprised if you guys start the first series of last.
I don't know anybody in the Orioles this year.
Mancini.
He's good.
He should. If honestly, any other year, if Judge and Benintendi weren't there, he's rookie of the year. He had like 290 with 24 home runs and like 80 rips.
No, he's good.
Nobody knew that because Judge came up and was like, let me just hit 100.
I actually lied, because I do know players on the Orioles, because that's my next guy I'm going to say.
Here he comes.
I do enjoy Mr. Cedric Mullins.
Yeah.
I think he glimpsed last year. You also have to take in consideration that now what I like and I don't like at the same time is he's kind of taken over now for Adam Jones, for the beloved Adam Jones. He's an Oriole for life.
Yeah.
So now he's got big shoes to fill. It's going to be tough. But, I mean, there's really no expectations with the Orioles this year. So I think he could be a catalyst atop the lineup.
Talk about nothing to lose in Baltimore.
Right. And I just think that now he's offered a full-time job in the outfield. Just the one thing that he's got to, like many ball players, streaky. But he does have sneaky pop. So I just think he's going to understand the big leagues now, and he can produce. So I do enjoy Cedric Mullins. I'm 2 for 2 with the outfielders here. I gotta get in on the diamond in the infield here. Same type of player on the A's is Ramon Laureano.
Yeah, cannon
of an arm, exactly. He didn't do so swift in the opening series. I don't think he got a hit. But whatever, it doesn't count.
Maybe because it's 5:30 a.m. his time. Maybe because it's 5:30.
But he's kind of the same type of player as Mullins. He's just a catalyst type. He's a leadoff guy. He was leadoff guy in the opening series. I don't know. I think Melvin said that he's going to move around up and down the lineup. So I don't know if he's going to stay batting leadoff.
Not getting 0 hits.
Yeah. He's a solid defender. Great arm. He's a high energy kid. He can lay down a bunt if need be, and I just believe he's going to be a speedy guy as well. And last year, 288 in limited action, 5 home runs, 12 doubles, and he's got 7 stolen bags. It was only in 48 games, so I think he can build off that as well, and I think he have a good year.
You know who, I'm not going to say a breakout player, but somebody who really just, it's time to prove themselves this year is Moncada. He's kind of running out of time hitting.
I don't know how I feel about him.
He's hitting 230. He's going to be at the top of their lineup.
I still has to get seasoned, but I don't know how I
mean, to be that high of a prospect, to be traded for Chris Sale, it's time to produce. So he's another potential guy that I'm not saying he will break out, but he kind of needs to.
He's got to show something.
He's got to give me something.
Got to show.
Got to give me something.
He's got to show. He batted 230 last year.
He was like 234.
At least give Chicago 250.
You gotta, yeah.
At least
you gotta. Baby steps, man. I'll take 250, then maybe 270, 280, but definitely aim for 250 this year. You just gotta show some type of productivity. But
yeah, I'm agree with you. I think he's time for him to step up to the plate. One last guy I'm gonna say, and he's not an outfielder.
Hey.
Yeah, right. On the Texas Rangers, the new first baseman Ronald Guzman.
I
think he has some serious pop. I think he has some serious power. I was watching the Ranger game last night.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, and he obliterated a ball deep into the stands.
He smacked the
last
Yankees
night.
around last year. I remember.
I think he could be very, very good.
He could be
he's
like
got to get the average up a little bit, but with again, just
sneaky
with
30
like
home runs,
all of these guys, they need to adapt to big league pitching, get their feet wet, understand pitches, and they could take off from there. And I think Ronald Guzman can be a nice first baseman for Texas. And again, really no expectations on that team as well. And
None.
I have a little something at the end on Texas that we'll talk about for a hot minute. But last year he had 16 home runs, and 58 RBIs.
Yeah.
So
I saw signs that he could be a decent power
naturally those numbers just trend upwards. So I'm looking forward to a couple of long dingers for Mr. Guzman. Other than that, I have a couple arms I want to get into. I don't know if John has any more ball players.
No, that's really all I had was Torres and Makata. I got a couple NLs that we can get into in just a second.
As far as the arms, one guy that's really intriguing to me is Shane Bieber. Justin Bieber's no, he's not related to Justin Bieber. It's just funny.
Isn't that his Players Weekend thing? Not
Justin Bieber.
Not
last
Bieber?
year. Yeah, he's hilarious. He's the fifth starter on Cleveland. They got a deep rotation, so he kind of gets overlooked by Carrasco, by Bauer, by all these guys, Kluber. But last year he was 11-5, ERA a little high at 4.55, 19 starts. He's got a nasty slider, swing and miss stuff. 118. What really jumps out at you is the strikeout to walk ratio. Last year, 118 strikeouts to only 23 walks. That's a recipe for winning. You limit walks, limit base runners, and I can just think he learned from some of the best in the business, and what the names I just mentioned, and Bauer, Carrasco, and Kluber, Clevenger as well. They get a nice rotation. I think he kind of gets overlooked.
Everybody's high on Clevenger.
Yeah,
everybody's high on
him too. Indians have a nice rotation. It's a shame they didn't really do much in the offseason to improve the team.
They lost because
I think the AL Central is way up for grabs.
They lost Allen, Brantley, and Andrew Miller, and those are just big pieces that are tough to fill. But I will say one pitcher, Marco Gonzalez on the Mariners. I mean, no, my whole point is, again,
he had a good year last year.
13-9 with a 4 ERA, but I'm saying he needs to break out a little bit more. I need mid threes for somebody that they gave up Tyler O'Neill for, because we're about to get into NL. But I was saying you need to prove, this guy needs to show that he was worth the trade.
Yeah.
Because the way Tyler O'Neill's ceiling looks, I'm gonna need something in the mid threes from Marco Gonzalez.
I agree with you.
Maybe 13 wins was nice. Maybe I'll take 13 wins again out of him. Just give me 3.5.
I agree with that. I'm a little not going to get too much into it. I just think this guy has a high floor, and he's got to just show a little more. And I think he has the potential again this season. It's Jacob Junis on the Royals.
Yeah,
he's always you always hear his name in the breakout.
I hear a lot of Royals guys,
and it's just needs more oomph. And again, I just think he has a high floor.
It's tough to get excited about Royal pitching. Just from me.
The one little nugget that is a positive, that after the All-Star break he had a 3.35 ERA. So something to build off of. Again, Royals no expectations, so you got to see what he's made of. And then Josh James. I know he's hurt. He got hurt in spring training. He'll be back hopefully within a month or 2 months max. But he has some velocity on him. He's got strikeout stuff. He was included on last year's ALCS after a cup of coffee in September. So I think the Astros like him. And once he comes back, I think, because they lost Morton. Keuchel, don't know where Keuchel is these days. Still sitting on his couch. Which is insane.
It's ridiculous.
Every major league team can use Dallas Keuchel.
I
don't care what anybody says.
I don't care.
Everyone. But I think Josh James has potential when he comes back to earn a spot in the rotation and go from there. So let's switch gears into the National League. Here's some of John's breakout boys on the NL side.
So the new Bash brothers here. It's basically the St. Louis Cardinals. Yeah,
I love it.
Tyler O'Neill.
Love it.
I am seeing a huge breakout year for Tyler O'Neill. So 61 games last year.
I just hope he plays enough.
Hey, 254, 9 home runs, 23 ribs. What I'm seeing out of Tyler O'Neill's potential is 280, 35 home runs, 80-plus ribs. Very Mitch Haniger-like, with, I feel like, even more upside. And he's got great protection around him with Goldschmidt, Ozuna, Carpenter, Paul DeJong.
Their offense is nice.
Bader, I'm going to get into in a minute. Molina, the veteran there. But what worries me is the outfield looks right now as Bader, Ozuna, and Fowler. But I feel like O'Neill's going to get his chance. Fowler is going to have a very short leash. Hit 180 last year, played 90 games, landed on the 60-day DL. They traded Pham to make room for these young guys.
Yeah.
So,
and Pham is a nice player.
Pham is a nice player. I always thought that they were crazy when they did it, but you see why they did it, because they're so high on Bader and O'Neill.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you'll have, if you play both of these guys out there between O'Neill and Bader, you'll get maybe 35 home runs out of O'Neill. And Bader's no schlub with pop either. He can get you 15, 20, but he can definitely get you those 30 stolen bases, and he's fast.
Yeah. He'll
in the outfield, yeah, he'll catch up to anything out there. So those two guys, I feel like, need to be in that lineup, in that outfield every day, and I think they just gotta somehow cut ties with Fowler or bench him. I know he's getting a lot of money, but this team, you can't not have Tyler O'Neill's potential in that lineup.
If given the opportunity, if given the playing time, I'm with you. I think Tyler O'Neill he has some pop as well. Mm-hmm. It's just he's got to cut down on his Ks.
Yeah.
So the strikeouts got to come down. Yeah. But again, just like it's natural.
It's also with pitching. Guys
with pitching, you'll adjust.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Schwarber. He has trouble hitting lefties, but he's been apparently. I haven't been keeping tabs on Kyle Schwarber in spring training. But from rumblings that I hear, it's working for him, and he's been hitting lefties. Just smashed a homer against David Price today.
Who hasn't? We are not high on Price ever.
David Price. Well, hey, he's a World Series champion, so
I know. Go for him.
But yeah, no, I like Tyler. I like his game, and Bader too. So Cardinals got a sneaky good team. Mm-hmm. But I did not pick them for my little sleeper. NL, which we'll get into a little later. Going off Tyler O'Neill, I'm a big Jesse Winker guy. He didn't produce all that well last year. His numbers can only go up. It's just what I don't like about Winker is just like O'Neill, he's got a crowded outfield. Schebler apparently already won the center field job. I mean, Scott Schebler. How long of a leash is that going to be? And he did hit 20 out of something, or 15, 15 to 20 home run range. Yeah, but still, give the Winker's. I think he could be a good player. Slow start to last year, but he picked it up. 299, 7 home runs, 43 RBIs. He's a 300 hitter, contact guy.
And the pop will come in that ballpark.
Yeah, I just think. I think the Reds need to give him an everyday role, and which they might. I mean, it's fluid enough, so I think they might. Again, the numbers can only go up from here. And another guy that really bothers me is Albert Almora on the Cubs.
Yeah.
It's just singles.
It's all singles,
and he has power.
It's weird.
I think
they were so high in him, he wasn't doing anything, and then all of a sudden he jumped out and hit like 330 at some point during the season, and then it kind of trickled back, but it was all singles.
Yeah.
That's all he was doing, was hitting singles.
Power. This year, power I'm not talking 20, 25 home runs. I'm talking 15 to 18 home runs. Give me maybe 20 little.
Catch one in the wind here.
20 shots in Chicago. Because I think he could be
every day,
I think he could be a really good player for Chicago. He's young, and I think he's driven to prove that he can be an all-around ball player, and he's a great defender. And I just think he could be a game changer for the Cubs, an X factor. What else you got?
That's really it for position for me. I know I see him on your list. I was thinking the same thing as Sean Newcomb.
Oh, we're gonna go to arms. Yeah, I got 3 arms on my list for the National League. Sean Newcomb is one of them. I'm going a little unconventional with the arms. I'm not. You got your German Marquez, you got Luis Castillo, Jack Flaherty. He's not really a breakout because he broke out last year.
Yeah.
All these guys that are looking to build off last year's success.
All these guys.
They're all. I think
all
they're
those
already
Rockies
good.
Guys broke out.
Yeah, I think
every guy in that rotation just.
So
put
I'm
up
going
great
a
numbers.
little unconventional, and Sean Newcomb is one of them.
He still had a great year.
Yeah, he had a good year.
He almost threw a no-hitter.
He threw a no-hitter almost threw a no-hitter against the Dodgers.
I think 1 out away.
He was 1 out away from a Chris Taylor single.
That's such a scrappy ball player to break it up to.
Chris Taylor.
Yeah.
God bless him. But I think Sean Newcomb can take the next step this season. He's still 25. This is his third season. Much like third-year wide receiver in the NFL. I think he can do some damage. He's got the home runs and the walks got to ease up a little bit. But last year, 12-9, 3.90, ERA under 4. And that was in 30 starts. It's just, again, he had 81 walks. It's a lot of base on balls there. But he's got a spot, and I think he can do it.
I will say one other guy, and I feel like we kind of said this last year, and I'm hoping we don't have to keep saying it, is he would really solidify the rotation and really make them serious contenders, and that's Nick Pivetta.
Yeah.
You know, with the way...
Him and Eflin.
Either. Give me one of them.
They both had... I mean, Pivetta started hot, faded, and I think Evelyn started rough and got on the horse the second half of the season.
But they could really solidify the Phillies and make them serious contenders in a very crowded NL East. You could have 4 teams in the NL East over 500 this year, which is unheard of.
They're both possibilities. Before we get into the National League team here, one arm that I don't think anybody's going to know, Mr. Pablo Lopez. And if you don't know who that is, he's on the Marlins.
That's why you don't know.
He, last year, 10 starts, 4.14 ERA. He's got strikeout potential, strikeout stuff, swing and miss stuff. He has to get his walks down. He's got almost a 50% ground ball rate. He's got great control. And I think they already, I believe the Marlins already announced that he's made the rotation. So it's just a step forward this year. And I know yada yada spring training stats don't count, but in 20 innings pitched this spring, 0.90 ERA, 16 strikeouts, 1 walk.
Nice.
So I'm high on Pablo Lopez. Go get him. So with that being said, let's dive into our favorite part of the show. Sleeper teams. Again, just to reiterate, we each have one team from the National League and we each have one team from the American League. Since we started with we just finished with the National League breakout guys, we'll continue into the National League sleeper team. And John, you're up first. Who do you got?
Which one? Sorry, which one? A or no?
National League.
National League. So this sounds ridiculous, and I'm kind of annoyed that I even have to do it. But the Atlanta Braves.
The Braves. Because they're kind of getting lost in the shuffle a little bit.
They're getting lost. I mean, even
I know that I just said no.
RotoChamp has them projected to come in 4th place. Does anybody remember this team won the division last year?
I don't. I think they were awesome last year.
Okay.
With the young kids. But the part of the issue with Atlanta is much like the Cleveland Indians. I don't think Atlanta did enough to improve.
But it's the same.
To improve.
Let me get into it.
Like, why can't they use Keuchel? Why can't they...
They could use Keuchel, but...
why can't they bring back Kimbrel?
They didn't have him last year. Last year, they went into the playoffs with A.J. Minter as their closer.
A.J. Minter.
I'm just saying.
I think he's hurt, actually.
Well, he's hurt, but I'm just saying last year, because... I forget who their closer was.
Last year was... didn't Brad Brock go over to Atlanta?
Yeah, but they had another guy who got hurt. I forget it off the top of my head. But anyway, basically, he went down and Minter had to step up in the meantime. But... they have the same lineup as last year. Their weakest position was third base, and they filled out with a former MVP and Josh Donaldson.
He's got to prove he's healthy.
Swanson is now healthy, and he has something to also prove. He's got a lot to prove because he's number 1 overall pick.
I was a big still am a big Dansby Swanson fan. I just think he hasn't put it all together yet.
No, he came up really young.
Yeah, he's still maturing, and I think he'll be okay. I do.
But what you'll have in that lineup is speed with Inciarte, Acuna, and Albies. You'll have power with Freeman, Acuna, Albies, and now Donaldson. You know, like we were just talking about.
Albies threw some pop last year.
Sean Newcomb with a full year under a belt reminds me a lot of Glavine. Mike Foltynewicz, he's hurt. He's rehabbing. Give him a minute, but he shocked the world.
Had a nice year.
Shocked the world with his 2.85 ERA. The bullpen isn't that strong, but it wasn't strong at all last year. It was actually one of the worst, and they still won the division. And they have an endless
but the
supply.
Phillies improved. The Mets improved.
They have an endless supply of arms with Wright, Ian Anderson, Gohara, Bryce Wilson, Tuki Toussaint, Soroka, Winkler, Sabatka. They could try a dozen guys.
I was shocked. I read that, or I saw that the Braves announced that they sent Tukey down AAA.
Yeah, I know. I saw. But you'll see him.
Yeah,
You're gonna see him.
He'll be up.
You're gonna see him. He's one of their better guys. They're one of the guys they're really high on. But everybody's jumping on the Nationals. When they lost Harper, Soto was gonna put very, very similar Harper numbers. You know, you have Robles, who you'll probably get 30 stolen bases out of Robles. But your only other major addition that I see is
Corbin.
And you lost Murphy.
Well, who's got to prove himself again? I'm sorry, I'm not going off Corbin's 1 year.
You lost Daniel Murphy, so I don't see the changes that make them so great that they're going to run away with the East in their first place projection and everywhere I look. And now everybody's jumping on the Phillies to jump up ahead because they got Harper. Again, Harper is so inconsistent that I'm not really blown. If he puts up another 250 season,
yeah, I mean.
He first was going to get booed out of Philly real quick, but I'm not blown away. Mets are the Mets are the Mets. Mets are the Mets though. Mets are the Mets. Okay, we didn't score for them last year. Cano is going to be huge. You know, Cespedes is still out, but
Mets.
Lowry's already on the shelf with that question mark injury.
I don't mean to bring up
the
National Football League again, but I am. To me, it's like the Mets are like the Cowboys.
Okay.
It's just like Mets are always going to be the Mets, and the Cowboys are always going to be the Cowboys. Always. Just potential flashes, and then
I just don't know why they're just all of a sudden forgotten when they won the division. They didn't not improve. They did improve, but they just didn't sign
minimally improve
massive contracts.
Yeah. I think they can use Keuchel. I think he'd be a very nice addition.
Keuchel,
and I think Kimbrel.
They get Keuchel, they win the division. I don't care.
I think too much. I do think the
instant ace.
I will say I do like the Braves over the Nationals. Nationals got a nice team, but again, Strasburg's always hurt. There's always something going on.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just they always never live up to the potential.
Here comes Strasburg for 100
and because of the Phillies and the power team that they have and signing Bryce Harper and all the Mets moves they did and improving themselves.
Rhys Hoskins still can't field a pop fly.
I love Rhys though.
I know, but he still can't. He can't track down a fly ball.
Just the Braves are getting a bit lost in translation here, and I think
and I think that's dangerous.
Yeah,
it's dangerous to forget that Acuna's going right into the box the second you start a game.
I
just saying.
I like it. All right. What else you got?
That's my end. Go ahead. Go
all right. So my team in the National League is those Cincinnati Reds. I am in love. I'm in love with the Reds. 67 and 95 last year, sitting in the basement in the National League Central. If anything, they're at least going to be much improved over last year. Because when you look at it, on paper, this is the best Reds team and the best chance the Reds have in contending in the National League. Started right away, fresh, with a new head man and rookie manager, David Bell. So, you know what they say, fresh voice, new environment, new culture, all that jazz. So you got that going for them. And they just had a lot of movement on the roster. They added veteran bats, veteran arms. Yasiel Puig, Matt Kemp, Alex Wood all came from L.A. You got Tanner Rourke, my boy Sonny Gray, who came from the Bronx. And you know, just because he's outside the Bronx, you know he's going to get Cy Young votes. It's just how it goes. You know Sonny Gray is going to go like 17-11 with a 3.44 ERA. It's just 150 Ks. It's just going to happen. It's just what always happens. So again, on paper, it looks like the best team in that they have in a while. The NL Central definitely going to be one of the toughest in the bigs.
I think it is. Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
NL East rivals it.
Yeah.
I do think the Central is a very tough division. So it won't be easy. They lost Billy Hamilton. So what? They lost Homer Bailey. They're probably proud of that because he hasn't lived up to expectations at all. So you look at the pitching, again, Rourke, Gray, Wood, Luis Castillo, who's many pegged to break out this year. Anthony DeScalfani, Jersey boy.
Yep.
Hasn't reached his potential yet. He's always got a nag and then he's always hurt. And they got Tyler Mahle, who kind of had a decent year last year. Yeah. It's not awful. The rotation is not awful. Like last year,
when you're trotting Harvey out there.
And they lost Dark Knight there. So Luis Castillo's opening day starter. 10-12 last year, 4.30. I think he can massively improve this year. And like I said with Gray, Rourke, always a nice arm. He'll give you consistency. With a couple blowouts, he'll give up 7 home runs in the first inning.
It's true. Like he'll have like a nice four game stretch and then get knocked out in the first.
Yeah, he'll get back home runs.
He just can't find it.
Sick facial hair too. But I just think that the pitching, and it's asking a lot, but the pitching can't be worse than last year with the additions that they got. As far as the bullpen, I think it could work. They got the closer, Raciel Iglesias, who's good. He's great, I think. He's steady. He's reliable. 30 saves last year, 2.38.
Yeah, he was solid.
They got just a bunch of guys. Jared Hughes, Amir Garrett, who is a starter.
Yep.
He's got potential. Mike Lorenzen, Zach Duke, Wandy Peralta.
I think Lorenzen off the bench, too, to smack a couple homers.
Just today or yesterday, they announced that Matt Whistler is demoted, or they released him, something like that. And it's just... They got some veteran arms in there. It's not really just like the pitching staff, the starting rotation. It's not awful. Didn't do much to improve the bullpen, unfortunately, but they did more to improve the offense. Which, yes, they just lost Gannett, however you say Scooter, for about 2 to 3 months. When you look at it, Tucker Barnhart is kind of the worst hitter. He had 250. You take that.
Yeah. No, I was about to say that lineup looks pretty dangerous now.
Yeah,
and I don't think...
And last year, without Kemp, without Puig, it was a top 10 offense in the bigs.
I don't think people realize that
top 10.
Puig's gonna hit. I'm dead serious. 35 home runs this year.
Yeah,
he's gonna.
They're playing, and you got to take it. They're playing in a bandbox. So
exactly.
It's
he's away from the Dodgers. He has like. Don't quote me on this. Doesn't he have like 6 or 7 in spring training? Like he's raking in spring training.
Yeah, he's his.
So he's gonna once he goes to Cincy, I think he's gonna put up 35 homers.
All these guys, man. I just think and don't forget Nick Senzel. I mean, yes, he just got hurt the other day.
But
yesterday.
just spring.
He should be back in hopefully within 4.
You're gonna see him this year, though.
But you still got him lurking. And they signed Derek Dietrich for depth. Derek Dietrich.
I always thought he was underrated. He's a very serviceable baseball player.
Depth.
He likes to. He takes a lot of hit by pitches too.
So I'm very high in the Reds. I think they can do it. It's gonna be a tough task, but that's why they're called sleeper teams. Let's shift gears into the American League and go ahead, Johnny. So, what we got? I'm intrigued.
Chris hates my sleeper team.
Oh,
the Chicago White Sox, 62 and 100 last year.
Yawn.
I feel
White Sox.
The White Sox can really. I'm not saying they're gonna win the division. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs.
Again, the AL Central is up for grabs, so...
It is up for grabs.
You got that working in their favor.
I can see a very Mariners-Rays type of season where they finish 5-6 out of making it. But they're always in that hunt. But I do feel like they're going to make a serious statement. From losing 100 games last year to bouncing to where they can actually be in a playoff hunt. Makata, like I said before, needs to step up. Eloy Jimenez... First of all, he's gonna be your rookie of the year. Guerrero, I don't trust. He's so many injuries. He's built like Cespedes. He's already got stuff nagging him at whatever is he? What is he? 14 years old.
I didn't realize how big of a boy he is.
He's a big boy, and he's already
like
hurt.
Saquon.
Jimenez is gonna hit 330 home runs, and he's gonna have the 100 RBI potential. I'm not saying this year, but that's the kind of player he's gonna be. Jose Abreu. Does anybody realize...
I've always loved Jose Abreu.
Why doesn't anybody ever talk about this guy?
He's a hitter.
He's just so consistent.
280, 290.
400 RBI seasons in a row, except for last season, because they had 62 wins. Nobody's getting on for him. But 400 RBI seasons in a row out of the 5 seasons. Jose Abreu is so consistent. He really is.
It's ridiculous.
So Eloy looks like he's going to be batting second in that lineup. He's got the protection of Abreu behind him. So that's a dangerous top of the lineup if Moncada ever steps up. Alonso... Just get your 250, 20 homers out of him. Maybe 70 to 80 RBIs. Daniel Palka's no schlub here.
Palka hit, what, 25 home runs?
26.
From Daniel Palka.
Yeah, so he's got
How many people know Daniel Palka?
They upgraded catcher Wellington Castillo, and they got James McCann. James McCann's a solid backup. Don't tell me James McCann.
I'd rather have James McCann starting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wellington Castillo is so boring.
Tim Anderson, he's kind of like a...
It's not bad.
He's a threat. He's a threat when he gets up there. He's got speed. You just got to get his average up.
He's got sneaky pop.
Third base is shaky with Yolmer Sanchez. I'll tell you that. It's shaky. It's fair. I'll give you that. And Adam Engel may struggle with the bat a little bit, but he gets
Plus defender.
He gets everything.
Plus defender.
Now, that's your lineup. I see a lot of potential at the top of it. The starting pitcher, you had 3 young guns last year that finally got a full season under the belt. Carlos Rodon, Reynaldo Lopez, and Giolito.
Rodon could be a nice pitcher this season. The injuries kill him.
Yeah.
But he's always had strikeout potential, nasty numbers.
Lopez had a good year.
Ronaldo, yeah.
I need to see more of Giolito because I think he was the weakest.
He's very similar. He's
like how they
arm version of Moncada.
They rounded it out with Ivan Nova and Irvin Santana with some veterans. Yeah.
Oh, Nova. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's a good round out of the rotation.
Thought Ivan Nova was still pitching in Pittsburgh.
And to back their bullpen,
wow.
Alex Colom is their closer, and they got Kelvin Herrera as a setup man.
Kelvin, don't get me started with Kelvin. Kelvin is so underrated, it's ridiculous.
That's their bullpen.
Love Kelvin.
Don't tell me this White Sox team isn't ready to compete. You got Dylan Cease, who you'll probably see this year, 172 in 10 games in Double-A ball last year. You're probably going to see him first. Probably one of the first pitches that you see come up during the season. But I'm impressed of how this lineup is looking, what they went and got for the rotation and for the bullpen. I know that what the Indians felt like they lost more than they gained. Losing Cody Allen, Brantley, and Andrew Miller. I thought that was huge losses. And I know the Twins added. I know you're going to get into it. The Twins added Cruz and Marwin and Jonathan Scope, but I don't buy the Twins like you do. Because I'll tell you right now, before you get into them, I know they added those guys, but you're still relying on guys that continue to give you issues in Miguel Sano and Buxton. And every year, the turnaround, and Buxton hurts something, and he's gone, and Sano has whatever mental health thing he's dealing with. I don't know what. It's something new every season with this guy. so I don't even know what this guy's problem is. But I just don't. I see the Twins as being a team that ends up with like 75 wins personally. But you could defend them. Go ahead and defend them.
I am going to defend them because my team in the American League are those Minnesota Twinkies.
Here he goes.
And yes,
we're going to have a battle this year just to see who has a better season, White Sox or Twins.
Yes,
that's going to be our battle.
Okay.
When the Indians still win 95 games and we're saying nothing.
Can't say it enough. The AL Central up for grabs, so they got that going in their favor. Like you just said, the Indians didn't do a whole lot to improve.
No.
And the White Sox, yes, I'm saying it, are a question mark. So I'm going with
White Sox.
Going with the Twinkies. 78 and 84 last year. Came in second place. That's not really saying that much. 78 and 84 in second. Much like the Reds, again, new voice and rookie manager Rocco Baldelli.
That's something.
I can't get over Rocco Baldelli.
That is something.
So they're going in a new direction, moving on from Paul Molitor. They signed some heavy hitters. They have a lot of depth too all around. The pitching does scare me, but who knows, right? You never know. 25-year-old ace Jose Barrios had a nice year, 12 and 11, over 200 Ks, 3.84. He can only get better. Kyle Gibson, nice quiet year last year, consistent. ERA under 4, kind of under the radar guy. Don't forget, just like I said with Sonny Gray, Michael Pineda. Almost 2 years away from the game, coming back. And much like I said about Sonny Gray, Michael Pineda is going to get some Cy Young votes because he's not pitching for the Yankees.
High 4s if he's lucky. See, there's that 480, right?
Sure he's going to put up numbers.
Please. Pineda.
The Twins also have 19 games apiece against the White Sox, the Tigers, and the Royals. Last year combined, 300 losses. So they got that going in their favor. Back to the pitching, Jake Odorizzi, Martin Perez, not really so swift, but again, you never know. They could utilize openers because they have a lot of arms in that bullpen, and they've done it before. They did it a little bit last year. Trevor May, Trevor Hildenberger, Taylor Rogers, Addison Reed, your old friend Addison Reed. Alberto Mejia, 2.01 ERA last year.
Alberto.
It should be closer. I don't know if they're going to commit to him full time. Blake Parker had a 2.90 ERA in 2 years.
I don't even know what's going to be the closer.
In 2 years with the Angels. As far as the offense, it's Nelson Cruz, Marwin Gonzalez, C.J. Cron, Jonathan Schupp.
Crone.
They hit 30 home runs last year.
That's chrome.
So if anything, they're going to lead the majors in home runs.
That's possible.
You got speed in the outfield, like my boy Eddie Rosario. They have Buxton. Yeah, it's the breakout year. We'll see. He's been tearing the ball, cover off the ball in the spring. Max Kepler. You got a nice shortstop in Jorge Polanco, who got pegged last year for PEDs, but he's back. These guys, Shoop had a down year last year. He still hit 21 home runs, but I think a change of scenery outside of Baltimore. I think he can. 260, give me 260. So I just think the Twins have some nice potential. Miguel Sano, I don't know what's going on with him. He should be coming back in a month or so. Can he get back to his all-star form?
No.
We'll see. with the added offense, last year the Twins were 13th in runs scored, so that's only going to go up. They lost Joe Mauer, so he was.
That's big.
He was getting up there, and
no, but it's veteran leadership. You lost Mauer.
Listen, Marwin comes from a winning culture in Houston. He's won it before. He's going to bring leadership into that clubhouse. Swiss Army knife, mark it down, the Twinkies. So there we go. It's going to be a battle. I'm excited. John's excited. Again, opening day is 2 days away. We'll wrap it up in about 2 minutes here. What do you got as far as a little prediction? I heard earlier you wanted to mention.
Just a quick World Series. Just who I'm feeling before the season even starts. I feel like it's going to be Astros defeating the Cardinals.
Ooh, Cardinals. I like it.
I think the healthy Astros team is scary. Correa, Altuve. They went out and got Brantley. Tyler White is literally Evan Gaddis. So he fills that hole. And we may see Forrest Whitley during the year
should
as
be
well.
Mid-season.
Astros are very scary if they still stay healthy. And Cardinals, I think nobody's looking at them, which I don't understand.
Cardinals are very good.
I think they're going to have the most wins in the National League this year.
Yeah, Mikolas coming off his All-Star season. They paid him. But can he do it again? Now there's tape on him.
Other than that, just quick predictions. I think the NL East can definitely have 4 teams over 500. Just to bash Chris, Twins are going to be getting 70 to 75 wins this year.
And by 75 to 77 wins, he means 85 to 90 wins. He meant that as the Chicago's win total.
Yeah. Puig is going to hit 35-plus homers. Dodgers will,
that I agree with.
Dodgers will lose the NL West this year to the Rockies.
Ooh, the Rocks.
Rockies, I think Murphy is going to be absolutely ridiculous there. I mean, it's not even fair.
I think he can hit about 330 or higher.
I'm thinking 350. Like,
he's getting old. He's getting older.
I know, but it's Colorado. And last but not least, Chris Davis will hit 248 this year instead of 4 years of 247.
Oh, Chris Crush Davis.
Chris Crush Davis is going to hit 248 and break it.
I hope so.
That's my big, bold prediction.
I like it. Very intriguing. On my end here, a couple of things that I'm looking forward to this season is I want to see... Well, I don't really want to see it, but I just want to see how teams are going to go about it in the 4-man outfields.
Oh, so stupid.
Again, personally, I don't want to see it just because I'm stubborn, but it's a kind of a new wrinkle just like openers, and that goes along with that too. I want to see how teams are going to continue to use openers. You heard Aaron Boone say that it's possible the Yankees are even going to do it.
You're going to have to. You got no pitch.
So it's going to be interesting to see what new teams are going to try and use openers. I'm interested, obviously, Manny Machado with the Padres. Going to see how that unfolds. Padres got a nice team.
250.
We'll see how that goes. Obviously, Bryce Harper with Philadelphia.
250.
And the expectations in Philadelphia. They added Realmuto, all these guys. McCutchen. So, Segura.
Mm-hmm.
So they got a lot of expectations, and I'm intrigued to see how they all handle it. And if there's, if that kind of has a down season, say, third place, 75, 78 wins, how is Bryce going to react to
it's going to pout.
Just it's
not
interesting
hustle
to see
in
that.
September.
Again, like I mentioned with the Reds and the Twins, there's a lot of rookie managers, first-time managers, Rocco Baldelli, Brandon Hyde, Chris Woodward with the Rangers, Charlie Montoyo, Jays, and David Bell with the Reds.
Big D.
So just like last year with Aaron Boone and Mickey Callaway, we'll see how they unfold. And last but not least, just want everybody to know, if you don't know yet, the Texas Rangers...
We made fun of this before.
The Texas Rangers announced their rotation for this season.
Woo!
Please pay attention to what I'm about to read to you.
Get excited, Ranger fans.
So, the rotation for this year, I'm sure it might change. About 99% sure it will change.
Has to.
But going into opening series, going into opening day, first weekend of the season, their rotation currently consists of Mike Minor, Edinson Volquez, Lance Lynn, Drew Smiley, and Shelby Miller. That will never not be funny.
I don't...
Ever.
What ERA is going to be below 4 in that rotation?
It's going to be Lance Lynn because he's not pitching in the Bronx. You got another guy who's not pitching with New York.
There's more Cy Young votes.
So it's Lance Lynn is going to garner Cy Young votes. But that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in baseball.
How you look at this and say, we're ready for opening day. How you literally go into the Rangers clubhouse and go, we're set.
That will never not be funny.
Let's do it. Let's do it, boys.
Unbelievable. But, man, that's it. I'm looking forward to opening day on Thursday. Should be the real opening day.
Really.
Should be fun. Baseball season is here, and it is very exciting. So, good luck to all your teams, and we'll see what happens. So, as always, thanks for listening. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, our iTunes, our SoundCloud. Be sure to give the Goombas a follow on our Instagram and our Twitter at We Are the Goombas.
Hey.
And until opening day, the Goombas are gone. Salud.
Arrivederci.